Welcome back, and thank you for joining us from Geneva, spring 2024, during Watches and Wonders. Joining me is Felix Baumgartner, and I'm Chris de Boel, founder of Esperlux. Felix, how are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you, Chris.
We are at URWERK, at URWERK HQ in Old Town. How is everything going? How's the vibe? How is the feedback from everybody?
We have a super great start here at Watches and Wonders, our own Watches and Wonders at Bourg de Four, which is for me actually Bourg de Four, the nicest, most romantic place in Geneva. So I'm super happy to be this year here presenting out of our headquarters of URWERK our novelties, to you, and it's great reception.
So this time it's not a watch; it's URWERK's take on the clock. Tell us how the SpaceTime blade came about.
Okay, to start, I grew up actually with my father in a house where my father restores still today clocks. And he actually has an atelier just on the side of my bedroom restoring clocks. So I really grew up, I grew up with the culture of old clocks. So this is something which is vibrating in me since I'm 2-3 years old. When he sold the shop of my grandfather actually, selling IWCs, he was tired of selling new watches. So he was more looking into restoring old clocks. And this is how I grew up and get the love and the passion of mechanics to understand how the wheels, how the balance, how the technical details are unfolding in history over the last 300 years between Germany, actually first Germany, Italy, then he went to England, and then it went to France, and today it's in Switzerland. All that history of over the last 300 years, he's somehow transmitted to me. And he still goes on and he still criticizes my work at URWERK. So that's kind of funny.
Good. Keeps you on your toes.
Absolutely. So the passion for clocks brought me to the idea of the SpaceTime blade. But actually it's also originated by the Gustav Sandoz clock. The Gustav Sandoz clock is a Swiss clockmaker.
Which you have one upstairs.
Upstairs, actually, we have this unique piece of Gustav Sandoz. He's the third royal watchmaker, a French royal watchmaker. Just to remember, the first one is Ferdinand Berthoud. Second is Abraham Louis Breguet. Third is Gustav Sandoz, and then it was finished. So. This is really an important guy, and he made a unique piece for the Swiss Pavilion, 1892, the Swiss Pavilion in Chicago, the Exposition Mondiale. They showed that clock, which is not showing the time, it's showing space, how we are traveling actually while sitting here together, Chris. In 24 hours, we are traveling 40,075 kilometers around rotating the Earth. Because we do one turn every day. So in 20 minutes we are doing, for example, 555 kilometers, which are roughly 300 miles. So this is just incredible, that mindset. And when he showed me this clock, and then later on he offered me this clock, I said, this is really incredible. This is URWERK. We have to do that in URWERK. And the first time we expressed that space-time feeling is actually with the UR-100.
UR-100.
We have SpaceTime. Exactly, the SpaceTime UR-100. But now the concept went even further in this incredible clock we constructed, we realized over the last 2 years. So it's Dalibor Farni, actually 3 Czech artisans who helped us to make this dream coming true.
Working with the glass, working with the bulbs.
The bulbs, which are handmade to our imagination. The casting actually is an old company. They cast the bells of old churches. So the casting of the socle of the base of the basement, the fundament is done in bronze casting. The glass bulb is also from a studio, from a laboratory. They do for medical research. They do these glasses for the medical research. So we found the best artisans, which enabled us to create this Nixie tube clock, showing local time, but also revolving the revolution of Earth. Actually can calibrate by GPS our localization here in Geneva today, and it will calculate the circumference, which is 29,000 kilometers per day we are traveling and this is shown on this clock.
Cool.
On top, we have another twist. We see actually, while we are rotating on Earth, we are also spinning around the sun.
Yeah, the revolutions. Yep.
Yes, in a year.
Yes.
And this is also shown on this space-time blade. So it gives you really between time and space, which are related, after Albert Einstein told us with the relativity. It's so amazing to have this experience.
And it's all in your hand. Again, in typical URWERK fashion, putting the control or putting the interactivity in the hands of the user, and this time in the form of I guess a lightsaber-esque remote.
Absolutely, it's very important to bring actually the wearer or here the observer into the experience.
Yeah.
And with the lightsaber or the special remote we created, you can really be part of that whole process.
Well, congratulations! It's awesome. It's awesome. It's such a typical URWERK way of looking at a clock and doing something fundamental to how you guys approach watchmaking. So,
and
really
Chris,
impressive.
it was not only fun. So there was a big fun part, but there is also a heavy reality part. So each Nixie tube, done especially for us, is 88 parts. And the whole clock together is over 1,400 parts.
Wow, I did not know that.
And this is really heavy work.
Pretty impressive.
Heavy work.
And it's a combination of, I guess, philosophical timekeeping, but also a historical timekeeping, and a philosophical approach, but also serious technical prowess to make that happen.
All the values which we fight for over the last 7 years.
Yeah, very impressive. All right, so let's put the clock aside for a minute. Something that you've already come out with earlier this year that was super impressive and was also a novel element for URWERK, not necessarily in the case style, but perhaps in the display of time. Taking it a step further was the UR-100 LIGHTSPEED. Tell us a little bit about the UR-100 LIGHTSPEED. I guess give us the 30-second brief on it and for what people should know about this watch.
So here, we together with Martin Fry, my associate, we imagined actually a further evolution of the UR-100. You have the UR-100, which is showing the rotation of Earth and the spinning around the sun. Here, we are celebrating the speed of light. The speed of light, actually, how we feel light, it starts with the sun. From there, we have the main light here. And it takes 8.4 seconds to reach the Earth. We have 8 planets, with each one is situated on the back dial, and so you can immediately follow the time which goes by, travels by the light going, reaching each planet. So this is a very nice indication which reminds you how small we are. Because that crazy speed of light, 300,000 kilometers per second, is something we showed up actually here on the back dial here. Here you have the front minute hours. And so we increased a little bit the height of the UR-100. We have 1 millimeter topped. So when you have the original UR-100, it's a little bit thinner. We needed more space
and
to be
slightly
able...
bigger too, right? It's a 42 and a half or 43 millimeter, 42 and a half, I think.
Actually, we have a double case, so an inner titanium case, which is surrounded by a thin carbon layered shell, I call it, like a shell case around the titanium case, screwed in crown. So it makes it waterproof, because at 300,000 kilometers per hour.
For the first time, the screw-down crown, which I think many people have been lobbying for, and this is awesome.
When you are traveling 300,000 kilometers per second, you need it to be waterproof. You need that screwed up.
Yeah, pressure-proof. Yeah, that's right. And a carbon case, which makes it very comfortable because it's fairly lightweight.
Actually, and we love the black finish of this carbon. And URWERK probably URWERK has somehow introduced black watches into the market like 20 years ago.
I agree with that.
And carbon goes all through, and this grayish anthracite carbon thin layers, actually, we have more than 80 layers of carbon fibers in that case. So
delivered on a rubber strap, and I believe retail price is 72,000 USD, if I'm not mistaken. Lastly, something that you guys introduced last year is the evolution of what was a flagship and iconic model for the brand. The 200 series, starting with the 210, the 220, and now the Eagle has landed.
It's the Eagle. It's the biggest. It's the biggest animal out of the Hawk. The 220 Black Hawk, we called it. This 230 actually is a half hunter case. So we have a shell of carbon thin layers also here, but then on top we have that opening of a half hunter protection. So on the back side, actually here, where the watch is the most exposed, we have that protection here. And when you open it, it allows you to control and to see l'état, the Zustand, the turbine automatic control here on the back. You have the flyback minute hand from here, the cylindrical spiral in the middle. So that's the icon of URWERK. It's really what the last 10 years, we were able to put on incredible wrists of incredible cool people, and we are working. This is our top flagship piece.
And then going back to the twin turbine automatic caliber, with also once again enabling the user to interact with the watch, with the braking system that you've incorporated in here as well.
You can choose between a manual watch or an automatic watch on one side, and on the other side you can control the efficiency of the winding system. So here the two turbines on the back, they are to absorb any shocks you can have while playing tennis or while playing any sport or living your life just, on the front, quickly, we can see actually another two turbines here. When you open these,
right at the front.
So here you have two turbines on the front, and these turbines, they are here actually to manipulate and to control the efficiency of the winding system. That means a winding system is normally calibrated for a normal standard person, but when you are a very hectic, very active person, you can reduce the efficiency, because then you are not all the time overwinding your mechanical movement.
And stressing the movement.
And it distresses the movement, is actually for the long-term functionality of the movement.
Full carbon case, and also a carbon, I would call it the hood, the carbon half hunter hood that's on top as well, in that beautiful, which is I think one of the best rubber straps in the market. This Velcro Volcarbon rubber strap.
We heard it so many times, so I think we can.
You heard it from me enough times too. I think it's sick of me saying how nice it is.
Just by a side note, this case is made out of 55 parts. It's a real headache. The precision which is needed between the carbon and the titanium inner case is just crazy. So we limited that piece to 35, and this is all we can get on this.
Incredible. Well, no shortage of cool, fun, highly technical, highly philosophical stuff. Felix, thank you so much for joining me. It's really appreciated.
Thank you, Chris.
It's always a pleasure to be here at URWERK.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned for more upcoming content. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks. Bye-bye.